The sun rose over the horizon, casting its golden light across the ruined landscape of Earth. Tall buildings lay in twisted heaps, their windows shattered and walls crumbled. Nature had begun to reclaim what was once a bustling metropolis, with vines creeping up the sides of buildings and trees sprouting through cracks in the pavement. It had been centuries since humanity had last set foot on their home planet, and much had changed in their absence. The ship descended from the sky, its sleek silver hull glinting in the sunlight. As it touched down on the cracked asphalt, a door slid open, revealing a group of figures clad in advanced suits of armor. They emerged slowly, their eyes scanning the surrounding ruins with a mix of curiosity and sadness. Captain Elena Reyes led the group, her helmet concealing her expression as she took in the sight before her. She had heard stories of Earth from her ancestors, tales of a once vibrant world brought to its knees by war and environmental collapse. But nothing could have prepared her for the stark reality of what lay before her now. "Spread out and secure the area," she ordered, her voice crackling over the comms. Her team nodded in response, fanning out to search for signs of life or danger in the desolate city. As they moved through the ruins, they encountered remnants of the old world, rusted cars, crumbling statues, and faded signs of a civilization long past. But amidst the decay, they also found signs of new life. Plants had begun to reclaim the land, their vibrant greens a stark contrast to the grey of the ruins. "It's incredible," one of the soldiers remarked over the comms. Elena nodded, her heart swelling with a mix of emotions. She knew that their mission was about more than just reclaiming Earth. It was about redemption. Redemption for the mistakes of the past, for the wars and destruction that had driven humanity to the stars in the first place. As the sun sank below the horizon, casting long shadows across the city, Elena and her team set up camp for the night. They huddled around a makeshift fire, the flames flickering in the darkness as they shared stories of their journey and hopes for the future. For the first time in centuries, humanity had returned to their home planet, and with them, they brought the promise of a new beginning. Elena awoke to the soft glow of dawn filtering through the trees that had taken root in the heart of the city. The chirping of birds filled the air, a sound that had been absent from her life for far too long. She rose from her makeshift bed, the earth cool beneath her feet, and took a moment to savor the peacefulness of the morning. As her team stirred to life, Elena gathered them around a holographic map of the city spread out on a portable display. They had come to Earth with a purpose, to establish a new settlement, a beacon of hope in a world ravaged by the mistakes of the past. Their first task was to find a suitable location for their new home. "We need to find a place that is defensible, with access to resources and room for expansion," Elena said, her voice steady and determined. "We cannot repeat the mistakes of the past." The team set out once more, weaving through the streets and alleyways of the ruined city in search of the perfect spot. Along the way, they encountered relics of the old world, crumbling buildings, overturned cars, and faded graffiti that spoke of a time long gone. But amidst the decay, they also found signs of life, small animals scurrying through the underbrush, birds soaring overhead, and the fresh green shoots of plants pushing up through the pavement. After hours of exploration, they finally found what they were looking for. A sprawling park nestled in the heart of the city, surrounded by sturdy walls and dotted with ancient trees. It was a place of peace and tranquility, a perfect spot to begin anew. "We'll make our stand here," Elena declared, gazing out over the park with a sense of determination. "This will be the heart of our new civilization." As the team set to work clearing the area and setting up their initial camp, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone in the city. There was a sense of something watching them, a presence that lingered in the shadows and whispered of forgotten secrets. She brushed off the feeling as mere paranoia, attributing it to the long years spent in the cold darkness of space. But as night fell once more, and the stars blinked into existence overhead, Elena couldn't shake the feeling that they were not the only ones to have returned to Earth. And as she settled down to rest, a sense of unease settled over her, a feeling that echoed through the ruins of the city like a ghost from the past. The days turned into weeks as Elena and her team worked tirelessly to establish their new settlement within the park. They cleared debris, built shelters, and scavenged for supplies, all the while feeling the gaze of unseen eyes upon them. Whispers of strange occurrences began to circulate among the team, tools going missing, shadows flitting through the trees, and eerie sounds echoing through the night. Elena tried to maintain an air of confidence and assurance for her team, but deep down, she couldn't shake the feeling of unease that had settled over her. She spent sleepless nights, staring up at the stars, wondering what secrets the city held and what mysteries lurked in its shadows. One morning, as the team prepared to set out on a scouting mission to gather more supplies, Elena's attention was drawn to a figure standing at the edge of the camp. It was a tall, slender being clad in tattered clothing, its eyes luminous in the morning light. The being stood perfectly still, its gaze fixed on Elena with an intensity that sent shivers down her spine. "Elena, do you see that?" one of her team members whispered, their voice tinged with fear. Elena nodded slowly, her hand drifting toward the weapon at her side. She approached the being cautiously, her heart pounding in her chest. As she drew closer, she could see that its skin was a pale gray, its features delicate and ethereal. "Who are you?" Elena asked, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. The being regarded her with a look of curiosity, its eyes searching hers for a long moment before it spoke in a voice that resonated in her mind. "We are the caretakers of this world, the guardians of its secrets," the being said. "We have watched as humanity rose and fell, as you left your home behind and journeyed to the stars, and now you have returned." Elena was taken aback by the being's words, her mind racing with questions and wonder. Who were these beings that had been watching over Earth in humanity's absence? What secrets did they guard, and what role did they play in the fate of the planet? As the being reached out a hand toward her, a tingling sensation washed over Elena, filling her with a sense of connection and understanding. And in that moment, she knew that the mysteries of Earth were far greater than she could have ever imagined. And as she gazed into the being's eyes, she felt a deep sense of peace and purpose settle over her, a feeling that she was finally home. The being's touch sent a wave of images flooding through Elena's mind, memories of Earth's history, of the rise and fall of civilizations, and of the guardians who had watched over the planet for centuries. They were known as the Eldari, a race of beings with a deep connection to the planet itself. They had witnessed humanity's journey into the stars, and now stood ready to guide them in their return to Earth. "We have waited for this moment, Captain Elena Reyes," the Eldari spoke, their voice echoing in her mind. "It is time for our two races to join forces, to reclaim Earth together and build a new future." Elena's mind reeled with the weight of the revelation. The Eldari were not mere observers but protectors of Earth, stewards of its secrets and guardians of its ancient wisdom. They had watched over the planet as humanity had strayed, and now offered their assistance in forging a new path forward. "We accept your offer," Elena said, her voice infused with determination. "Together, we will rebuild Earth and honor its past while shaping a brighter future for all who call this planet home." The pact between humanity and the Eldari marked the beginning of a new era on Earth. The two races worked side by side, combining their knowledge and skills to create a thriving community within the park. The Eldari's connection to the planet allowed them to help humanity tap into its resources in sustainable ways, while their wisdom guided them in avoiding the mistakes of the past. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the settlement flourished under the guidance of the Eldari. Buildings rose from the rubble, gardens bloomed with life, and the ruins of the city were transformed into a vibrant hub of activity and growth. The Eldari shared their knowledge of the land, teaching humanity how to live in harmony with Earth and harness its power for the greater good. Elena watched with pride as her team worked tirelessly alongside the Eldari, each day bringing new progress and hope for the future. Together, they had forged a bond that transcended mere alliance, forming a partnership based on mutual respect and shared purpose. And as she stood at the heart of the settlement, surrounded by the sounds of life and laughter, Elena knew that they had truly come full circle. Humanity had returned to Earth, not as conquerors, but as caretakers, united with the Eldari in a shared mission to protect and nurture their home planet. The journey ahead would be long and challenging, but with the wisdom of the Eldari as their guide, and the strength of their newfound alliance at their backs, Elena and her team were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. And as the sun set over the horizon, casting a warm glow across the city, a new chapter in Earth's history began. A chapter of unity, cooperation, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow for all who called this planet home. The days turned into months as the settlement continued to thrive under the guidance of humanity and the Eldari. New buildings rose, crops flourished in fields tended by both races, and a sense of unity pervaded the once desolate city. Yet, amidst the progress and hope, challenges emerged that tested the resilience of the fledgling community. Rumblings of dissent began to surface among some of the settlers, whispers of unease about the Eldari's involvement and the secrets they guarded. Some questioned the motives of the ancient beings, their enigmatic ways stirring suspicion and fear in those who did not understand their connection to the planet. Tensions simmered beneath the surface, threatening to disrupt the fragile harmony that had been established. Elena knew that it was crucial to address these concerns before they escalated into something more dangerous. She called a meeting of the settlement's leaders, humans and Eldari alike, in an attempt to foster open dialogue and bridge the growing divide. "We must remember that we are all united in our goal to rebuild Earth and create a better future for all," Elena began, her voice firm yet compassionate. "The Eldari have shared their wisdom and guidance with us, and it is through our partnership that we have achieved so much. We must trust in each other and work together to overcome any challenges that come our way." The Eldari, standing tall and serene beside Elena, spoke in their resonant voices, reassuring the settlers of their intentions and offering insight into their role as protectors of Earth. They shared tales of the planet's ancient history, of the trials it had faced, and the resilience that had allowed it to endure through the ages. As the meeting drew to a close, a sense of renewed unity filled the air, a shared understanding that transcended differences and united humanity and the Eldari in a common purpose. The settlers emerged from the meeting with a newfound sense of solidarity, ready to face whatever trials lay ahead. But just as the settlement began to settle into a newfound peace, a new threat loomed on the horizon. Dark clouds gathered in the sky, signaling a storm unlike any they had faced before. The ground trembled beneath their feet, and a sense of foreboding filled the air. Elena knew that they would need to stand together, human and Eldari alike, to weather the coming storm and emerge stronger on the other side. As lightning crackled in the distance and thunder rumbled across the land, she steeled herself for the challenges that lay ahead, ready to lead her people through whatever trials and tribulations awaited them in the days to come. The storm struck with a ferocity that shook the very foundations of the settlement. Rain pelted down in torrents, wind howled through the trees, and lightning streaked across the sky, illuminating the chaos that surrounded them. The settlers scrambled to secure their shelters, battening down the hatches as the fury of the elements raged around them. Elena stood at the center of the settlement, her eyes scanning the scene with a mix of determination and concern. She knew that this storm was more than just a natural disaster. It was a test of their resolve, a trial that would push them to their limits and force them to confront the challenges that lay within. As the storm raged on, tensions within the settlement began to rise once more. Fear and uncertainty gripped the hearts of the settlers, driving a wedge between them and sowing seeds of doubt and mistrust. Some blamed the Eldari for the storm, seeing their presence as a harbinger of destruction rather than guidance. Elena knew that she needed to act swiftly to quell the rising discord before it tore the settlement apart. She called upon the Eldari to stand by her side, their presence a beacon of calm amidst the chaos. Together, they addressed the settlers, their voices cutting through the howling wind and driving rain. "We are all in this together," Elena declared, her words firm and resolute. "The storm may test us, but it is our unity and strength as a community that will see us through. We must stand united, human and Eldari alike, and weather this trial together." The Eldari spoke in their ancient tongues, their words resonating with a power that soothed the unsettled hearts of the settlers. They shared tales of storms past, of hardships endured and overcome, and offered encouragement and hope in the face of adversity. As the storm began to abate, the settlers emerged from their shelters, their faces etched with weariness, but also with a newfound sense of solidarity. The chaos of the storm had forged bonds that ran deeper than mere words or actions, uniting them in a common purpose and a shared determination to rebuild and thrive despite the challenges they faced. Elena watched as the settlement came together in the aftermath of the storm, humans and Eldari working side by side to repair the damage and rebuild what had been lost. The storm had tested them, pushing them to their limits, But it had also brought them closer together, strengthening their resolve and reaffirming their commitment to each other and to the future they were building on Earth. As the sun broke through the clouds, casting a golden light across the settlement, Elena knew that they had weathered the storm within as well as the one without, and with a renewed sense of purpose and unity, they stood ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, secure in the knowledge that together they could overcome anything that came their way. In the wake of the storm, the settlement emerged stronger and more united than ever before. The bond between humanity and the Eldari had deepened through shared trials and challenges, forging a connection that transcended differences and fueled the collective spirit of resilience and hope. Elena and her team, along with the Eldari Guardians, set to work repairing the damage caused by the storm and fortifying the settlement against future threats. Together, they planted new crops, rebuilt shelters, and strengthened their defenses, their efforts a testament to their determination to create a thriving community on Earth once more. As days turned into weeks, a sense of normalcy returned to the settlement. Children played in the fields, laughter filled the air, and the sounds of construction echoed through the streets as new buildings rose from the rubble. The settlers worked side by side, humans and Eldari working as one to build a better future for themselves and for generations to come. Elena found herself drawn to the gardens that had been planted in the heart of the settlement, a vibrant oasis of life and growth amidst the ruins of the city. The Eldari tended to the plants with a care and reverence that spoke of their deep connection to the land, their hands weaving magic into the soil and coaxing forth new life from the earth. "We are the stewards of this world," one of the Eldari said, as they knelt beside a bed of sprouting vegetables. "It is our duty to nurture and protect it, to ensure that life flourishes for all who call it home." Oh. Elena nodded, her heart filled with gratitude for the wisdom and guidance the Eldari had shared with them. They had taught humanity to respect the land, to live in harmony with nature, and to cherish the gifts that Earth provided. Together, they had planted the seeds of a new future, one built on cooperation, understanding, and a shared vision of hope. As the settlement continued to grow and thrive, word began to spread of their success, drawing other survivors and wanderers to their doors. People from all walks of life arrived seeking refuge and a fresh start, their stories intertwining with those of the settlers to form a tapestry of resilience and renewal. Elena knew that the journey was far from over, that challenges and trials would continue to test their resolve. But as she stood at the heart of the settlement, surrounded by the sights and sounds of life and growth, she felt a sense of peace and contentment wash over her. The seeds of tomorrow had been planted, and with the unity of humanity and the wisdom of the Eldari guiding them, she was confident that they would continue to flourish and thrive in the days and years to come. As the settlement expanded and flourished, a sense of harmony and prosperity spread throughout the community. Humans and Eldari worked together seamlessly, their shared efforts yielding bountiful harvests, innovative technologies, and a sense of unity that resonated through every corner of the city. Elena stood at the center of the bustling marketplace, watching as traders bartered goods, children played in the streets, and the Eldari shared their ancient knowledge with eager students. The once desolate city had been transformed into a vibrant hub of activity and growth, a beacon of resilience and cooperation in a world still scarred by the mistakes of the past. "We have come a long way since our arrival on Earth," Elena reflected, her voice tinged with pride and gratitude. "Together, we have overcome challenges that seemed insurmountable, and we have built a community that thrives on the values of unity and understanding." The Eldari stood beside her, their presence a constant reminder of the deep bond that had formed between their two races. They had shared their wisdom and guidance with humanity, helping them to rediscover their connection to the land and to forge a new path forward that honored the planet and its inhabitants. "The time has come for a new chapter in our shared journey," one of the Eldari spoke, their voice resonating with a sense of purpose. "Together, we can continue to build a future that honors the past while embracing the possibilities of tomorrow." As the settlement celebrated its newfound unity and prosperity, a sense of peace settled over the city, a tangible feeling of hope and renewal that spoke of a brighter future on the horizon. The settlers worked and lived side by side, their differences blending into a harmonious tapestry of diversity and cooperation that set an example for all who crossed their path. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow across the city, Elena knew that they had truly reclaimed Earth with a new civilization, one built on the foundation of collaboration, respect, and a shared vision of a better world for all. The journey had been long and challenging, but the rewards were greater than they could have ever imagined, for they had discovered that true strength lay not in power or conquest, but in the bonds of friendship and unity that connected them to each other and to the planet they called home. With the entropy beasts vanquished and the cosmos reborn through the tireless efforts of the Coalition of Unity, a newfound sense of tranquility settled over the galaxies that comprised the vast universe. The legacy of Captain Rivera, Chancellor Varanos, and Elder Yashara remained as a guiding light, inspiring generations to come with the values of cooperation, empathy, and unity that had saved the cosmos from oblivion. As the Coalition of Unity continued to thrive, its influence extending across the stars and spanning into the furthest reaches of known space, new alliances were forged, and old animosities were set aside in the spirit of progress and harmony. The alliance became a beacon of hope in a universe fraught with uncertainties, a testament to the enduring power of unity in the face of adversity. Through their collective efforts, the Coalition's member civilizations unlocked the secrets of the cosmos, delving into the mysteries of the universe with insatiable curiosity and boundless courage. They charted new worlds, encountered beings of unimaginable diversity, and marveled at the wonders that lay hidden within the fabric of reality itself. But as the Coalition stood at the precipice of a new age, a shadow loomed on the horizon, one that threatened to test the Alliance's resolve like never before. A rift in the fabric of space and time had been torn open, unleashing a force of unimaginable power that sought to consume all in its path, leading to the emergence of a cosmic entity known as the Riftweaver. Captain Rivera, Chancellor Varanos, and Elder Yashara knew that the Alliance faced its greatest challenge yet, one that would require the combined strength of every species, every civilization, and every being across the galaxies to confront and overcome. They called upon their allies once more, rallying them for the ultimate battle against the Riftweaver, a being that defied comprehension and threatened to unravel the very fabric of existence itself. As the Coalition's forces amassed, a sense of determination and unity reverberated through the cosmos. Ships from every corner of known space stood ready, their inhabitants united in purpose and resolve, prepared to face the Riftweaver and its unfathomable power with courage and unwavering conviction. The battle that ensued was a cosmic symphony of light and darkness, a clash of titanic forces that shook the very foundations of the universe. The Alliance fought with unparalleled valor and resilience, standing against the tide of chaos and destruction unleashed by the Riftweaver with a tenacity that spoke of the strength of their unity and the depth of their resolve. And as the final confrontation reached its climax, the Alliance emerged victorious, the Riftweaver vanquished, and the cosmos spared from ultimate destruction. Peace settled once more over the galaxies, and the legacy of the Coalition of Unity endured, a shining beacon of hope and inspiration in a universe filled with wonders and perils beyond imagining. As the stars twinkled in the vast expanse of space, a new chapter began in the infinite cosmos, where the laughter that had once mocked the tiny human ship had given way to a symphony of voices united in purpose and solidarity, echoing through the universe for eternity, a testament to the enduring power of cooperation, understanding, and unity in the face of challenges that transcended the boundaries of time and space.